Hello, James with Reef Aquacult here. Today I want to talk about clownfish aggression. I've had a breeding pair of clownfish that I've had in this tank for the past few months, and I've had in a 15-gallon tank for several years. But once they established a little area in the tank, they started breeding, and they would pick on any newly introduced specimens. So that was a problem. I didn't want them, stressing out my new fish. So I know they were breeding, and I felt bad. But one way to fix the aggression is to move them temporarily into a separate tank, leave them there for several weeks, and then reintroduce them back into the display tank, where they'll have to again figure out a little home to live in and a little cave to make their eggs in and to defend. So what you want to do is separate them into a display or into a quarantine tank and let them sit there for several weeks or months, and then when you have all your introduced fish, then you can bring them back in. So unfortunately, that might stress them out and stop them from breeding temporarily, maybe even permanently, but that's a risk you take if you care about that. One benefit of it for me is that I got these bubble tip anemones that I can hopefully reintroduce them back into, and then they can make a home out of it. This one's a little bit too small for them to host right now, but I do have a larger one in the back that they could potentially host. But the clownfish can be very mean, and I kind of got sick of it, to be honest with you. I don't want to get rid of the clownfish because I do enjoy them. I do enjoy the way they swim. They're one of my favorite marine fish. But they can be jerks, and they can be mean to your other inhabitants, which is not acceptable. But luckily, you can outsmart them and introduce them at a later time. So, you'll have to get like a spare 10 or 15-gallon tank that they can live in for a little bit until you have your tank fully established. But hope this helps. Another idea you can do is just throw them in your sump. If you have a safe area, down in your sump, you can put them down in your refugium or wherever would be safe for them to inhabit. But just kick them out, kick them to the curb, ground them, and then reintroduce them at a later time. So hope this helps. This is my aquaculture bubble tip anemone. I'd highly recommend getting an aquaculture species because they're going to be used to aquarium life, and also it's better for the environment. Obviously, this one was picked up from a local hobbyist that had a large anemone that splits every couple months. It is very, very beautiful. It's got beautiful bubble tips. This one was actually splitting when I got it, so when I put it in my tank, I had different parameters, so it kind of made it mad. So it split the first night I had it. I've had it for a few weeks now. This one's doing pretty good. This is the smaller one, but it's got a beautiful green base, some white specks on the bottom, beautiful red bubble tips, nice and bulbous. But yeah, it's a pretty cool creature. But yeah, definitely, as the theme of my channel goes, I would highly recommend, if you watch on Craigslist long enough, or you can maybe find one on eBay, but you can definitely find local specimens because there's a pretty good chance that a hobbyist in the area has bubble tip anemones, and they're always going to be splitting when they're growing and being healthy. So hope you enjoyed the video about the clownfish and your anemone. All right, take it easy, guys. See you later.